Hey everybody, Kenny McIntosh here, and you're about to listen to the interview I did with Eddie Kingston this week. We couldn't get videos sorted in time, but this is an audio interview, and at the beginning, Eddie's line's a little bit choppy. I let him know, he goes to better signal, and we figure it out. There's some really good stuff in here about Revolution this weekend, his thoughts on Bryan Danielson, Jon Moxley, and of course, Chris Jericho. So, enjoy the video. Hey everybody, we're back here on Inside the Ropes. It is Revolution Week for AEW, and we are talking to a man involved in one of the most realistic matches this Sunday, Mr. Eddie Kingston. Eddie, how are you?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Early in the morning, now I get to go to the gym early, so I'm good to go.
There you go. I will add, I didn't insist that you get up this early. I don't want the heat on me for this one, but I'm happy to talk to you. I want to talk to you about this match with you and Chris Jericho on Sunday, because I feel like something that you add to some of your matches is realism if it's there. So, you know, when you and Jericho were doing the promo last week and he was kind of having barbs at you that, you know, when he didn't know who you were, maybe he thought you looked like a jobber, and you were telling him you don't really want to deal with the Chris Jericho who's in mimosa matches. How important is it for you to try and find and bring in some real elements to make the people who are watching kind of feel that they're seeing some real beef?
Yeah, you got to be authentic, because if you're not authentic, people are going to see right through it. Like, wrestling fans throughout the years, even before AEW was a thing, can see what's not authentic and what is. And they either accept it or they don't. And 9 out of 10 times, fans are not going to accept something that's not authentic. So, yeah, I try to bring as much realism as I can. And I've said this before, and I'll say it again. You guys call it promos, I call it my therapy session. You guys call it wrestling matches, I call it my therapy. I get everything out in that ring, and I get everything out when I'm speaking. So there's a lot of reality to everything that I say. And there's reality to what my opponent says, because I forced them to say it. You know what I mean? They don't want to be shown up, so they have to say something back.
I mean, let's talk about Jericho specifically. I mean, because you two do just have completely different careers in every sense of the word, different styles, different vibes. Were you excited at the prospect of working with Jericho? Were you wondering how things would mesh? I mean, because it couldn't have really gone any better last week for the setup on Dynamite.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. And no, I wasn't excited. I want to fight Hangman. I want to fight whoever the world champion is, but you know what I mean? Now, as time has gone on, of course, more and more I'm excited about fighting Jericho as time goes on. And of course, why? You know, I can joke around and tell you, no, I wasn't, but I was. It's Chris Jericho. Of course, I am. I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan, but you know what I mean? That guy's been all over the world and back again. If I can't learn something from him or get something out of him, then what am I doing?
And I mean, in terms of the match this Sunday, what do you think about how you guys' styles are gonna? Do you think they're gonna mesh well? Because you guys are very different the way you approach. I don't want to say Chris is more sports entertainment-y in the way that he wrestles, but I mean he is more sports entertainment-y than you are. Are you looking forward to trying, hashing that out?
Oh, no, yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I'm going to bring out the side of Chris Jericho. Like I said, that was part of the company war, Wrestling and Romance in Japan, where, like I said, he got respect from one of my heroes, Tenru, and he was in the Super J Cup in '95 there. He was in New Japan. You know what I mean? I believe he was in Calgary Stampede. Not Calgary, he was in Stampede Wrestling. You know what I mean? So, like, Chris has gotten comfortable with sports entertainment because that's what's made him a lot of money. But I'm going to bring him back to his roots.
So, Eddie, the line appears to be quite bad. Sometimes the answers, I can't quite make them out. So I'm just trying to understand. I didn't get the end of that there. I know you said I got everything up to like Tenru, and then after that, it kind of went quite choppy.
Oh, okay. No, yeah, he wrestled for War, and one of my heroes, Tenru, was booking that company. And yeah, Chris has been doing sports entertainment for years, but you gotta remember, he was there. He was in New Japan. He was in Stampede Wrestling. He was in Smoky Mountain. So he was at places where you had to fight. and I'm going to bring that back out of him.
Well, speaking of fights, you and CM Punk had a fight back at Full Gear, and the promo that you guys did to build that up again just felt like there was a lot of realism. You and CM Punk made it very clear that you don't like each other. What was it like to actually work with each other? Was there a level of respect that came out of it? And did you manage to find some common ground?
No, there's no like there. He doesn't like me, I don't like him, and I don't think we're ever going to like each other. Just to be honest with you, I don't think we're never going to see eye to eye. And I'm not a very forgiving person. I believe that, I'm Catholic. I believe that's God's problem, forgiving people. That's not me. So, no, I have no desire to be friends with him. He has no desire to be friends with me. I have no desire to be copacetic with him, and same thing with him. You know what I mean? We just do not like each other, and that's it.
I mean, it felt like when you guys had the match at Full Gear, it almost felt like there was more there, and it could have kept going. Is that something? Is it just a case of Tony Khan maybe knew you guys just weren't thrilled to be around each other, so one and done was maybe a better option?
I have no idea what Tony Khan thinks. I'm not one of those guys that try to figure out what the promoter or the booker's trying to do. I just punch in and punch out, man. You know what I mean? What like I walk in that day, I go, "What do you want from me?" And he tells me, "Hey, I need you to do this, this, and this." I go, "Okay." That's it. So to be honest with you, I have no idea what my future plans are. Only thing I know is, I got the pay-per-view coming up with Jericho. That's all I know, that's for sure.
I mean, would you want to work with Punk again because it was so well received, or is it something you'd rather just move on from?
I want the world champion. I want to be in the world. I want to be with the world champion or the TNT champ. You know what I mean? Or if it's me and Moxie for the tag titles, you know what I mean? That's the goal, is to be a champion. That's what I want. So whatever's going to get me closer to that goal, I'll do whatever. It doesn't matter. Because to me, like you mentioned, Punk's just a man. You know what I mean? So I don't really care. And he bled in front of me, so I really don't care.
You mentioned Moxley there. Obviously, he's come back. It's great to see him back and on top of the world again. If he does have the partnership with Bryan Danielson, if that does pan out after Revolution, is that something that you'd like to kind of be a part of and have the three of you guys together? Is Bryan Danielson someone you could see yourself coexisting with?
No. Mox can team up with Bryan all day, you know what I mean? But when it's me and Mox, it's me and Mox. I don't like Bryan. I don't trust Bryan. Bryan's a very judgmental person. You know what I mean? He's very with his nose up in the air in the back. So no, everybody loves Bryan for whatever he puts out on TV. I'm talking about backstage stuff, man. He's a very judgmental prick. So no, I have no desire to be friends with Bryan or team up with Bryan.
I do need to ask you, obviously one of the big stories in wrestling was Cody leaving AEW. Him and Tony Khan both put out really nice statements about it. Cody was your first match in AEW. What was your reaction when you heard the news? Were you surprised?
No, when I heard the news, I said, okay, cool. I'm not, I understand this business, man. You know what I mean? And I'm a firm believer in if you're not happy somewhere, go somewhere else. You know what I mean? And he, whatever he plans on doing, good for him. I wish him luck. You know what I mean? I have no problems with Cody. I never had any problems with Cody. I liked fighting him. You know what I mean? But other than that, I had no problems with him. And whatever he wants to do, that's his life. You know what I mean? Everybody has his opinions, but at the end of the day, our opinions don't matter with him. You know what I mean? Because he has to do what's right for him. So if he feels like not being at AEW is right for him, hey, good luck, brother. Do your thing. You know what I mean? I got to worry about me.
Well, it's something I wanted to ask you about, because obviously we see that there's a lot of new people come into AEW, Keith Lee, and there's different people who are rumored to be coming in. For your perspective, as someone who's been there for a long time in AEW, when you see new people coming in, does that kind of light a fire under you guys on the roster to be like, okay, there's more people coming in, there's only so much time on Dynamite? Does it make you up your game as a performer, seeing that more big names are coming in?
Yeah, for me it does. And I've said it a million times and I'll keep saying it, man. When I see somebody new come in, I go, all right, come and get me. You know what I mean? I'm here. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're new, come and get me. I don't care who you bring in. I'm going to step my game up so they don't take my supposed spot. As far as the AEW locker room or the other people, I don't know what they think, man. To be honest with you, I have like 5 or 6 friends, tops, in that locker room. Everyone else I can't stand or I just don't like. So I don't care what they do or think, as long as me and like 5 or 6 of the other people who I trust are good, that's all I care about. So everyone else can just, I don't care.
I think you're onto something. It's a very cathartic way to look at things. I did want to ask you about, there's so many wrestling companies out there right now. There's so much wrestling for fans to consume. I know you're busy. You're in AEW. Do you watch any other wrestling right now in the States or abroad? Is there anything that excites you at the moment that you're watching out with, the day job at AEW?
Oh man, lately, as of late, it's been hard to watch anything new. You know what I mean? I just go back to watch the old Japan from the 90s, and I watch, old New Japan, and I watch Noah. Well, I've been watching current Noah, I guess you could say, which I like. I got to catch up with New Japan and All Japan and everything like that. I've been catching up on DDT. I don't watch WWE unless like someone hits me up and tells me like, hey, so-and-so is on NXT or so-and-so is on Raw or SmackDown. And I'll be like, oh, okay, let me check it out. But yeah, like when you're busy, man, when you're on the road and you get home, you may not want to even watch wrestling. You know what I mean? But I always watch old stuff. That's what I definitely do. I definitely watch old stuff all the time because I'm learning from them.
Well, it's funny because the last time we spoke, one of the things that I asked, it was before, the Grand Slam show in New York, and you mentioned being at SummerSlam '98 and hearing the big pop for Austin when he came out for that main event in MSG. If Austin, there's all these rumors he's going to wrestle again this year. If he does, is that something you would check out? Would you want to see, if he has one last match?
Yeah, of course. Why not? Of course. Steve Austin's one of those guys that, look, Steve Austin saved the company, man. You know what I mean? He saved wrestling, I guess you could say, too, Mm-hmm. Steve Austin connected with a lot of people, connected with me, too. You know what I mean? And what I want, someone like him to come back and be able to go. If he can go, yeah, sure, of course. You know what I mean? And reading interviews from Austin is like, I don't think he's going to put himself out there if he can't put on a great show. So I would love to see it.
And, if for some reason Chris Jericho was listening to this before Revolution, maybe on the car ride over, do you have a last message for him before the pay-per-view?
Yeah, fuck you, bring it. There it is.